Columbus has been a tough out though for Toronto, hasn't it?
It's been a high-scoring affair each and every time, too. There seems to be a plethora of offense, and I don't think tonight's going to be much different.
Very often in the last month, just twice in the last 14. Maybe a chance here as it's centered in front. Marchenko stopped by Stolarz. Nylander cuts to the middle and forced back by Gabranson. There's a move on Gabranson and a shot. And Benoit stopped there by Merzlikins. And it slides back the other way. Pass rink wide. Broken up, and here's Nyes on a break. And Merzlikins makes the stop short side. Tavares looked for it in the corner. Marchenko able to work it loose. And now Kent Johnson, who had an overtime goal here last year, to Marchenko. And Monahan, that's easy pickings for Stolarz. And swung that across the goal mouth. Played back to Fantilli. Now Provorov, Matejchuk. Fantilli shooting. Fought off there by Stolarz. A big rebound back to Matejchuk again. And Fantilli right on. And the rebound will be dumped out off the stick of McMahon. Riley there, and he'll hand it back, and they stay onside. Werenski with a knuckler that's easily played by Stolarz. Gets it to Nylander. Watch there by Provorov. Center, here's Tavares, and it's off the stick or blocker of Merzlikins and out. Riley back with Olivier chasing him. Carlo off the skate to McMahon. Turned over, and a big stop there by Stolarz. Off Cole Sillinger in. Van Riemsdyk jarred along the boards by Benoit. Van Riemsdyk with a goal in each game against Toronto. Here's Lawton moving in. And Merzlikins got a piece of that. Fabro off the boards and played back in by Aston Reese, who broke a long scoring drought against Colorado on Thursday. Werenski, that went off Lorentz right to Merzlikins. Turned over again. Dick Robertson scores!
An errant play is it. Good job of Lorentz making the play, but now you get a goaltender into your skates, and just a great play by Holmberg. Holmberg takes a man to him, knows he's not going to get a shot away, and what a view there for Merzlikins. I don't think ever really saw it. Robertson gets down, gets ready, and the quick release. You know, for him,
trying to get that through. Sillinger knocked it down. Nylander retrieves. Here's 88 in front with a move, and Merzlikins stayed with him, but
moving, and he's going up against Werenski. Does a nice job of slashing the stick and getting it, holds it to the outside, and you can see that read there by Sillinger. Sillinger does a flyby thinking Nylander's going. What a great aggressive read across, and Merzlikins too.
Final minute of this opening period. Nyes with a steal. The Michigan, and Merzlikins stopped it. Wow. Nyes came close.
You're all over the puck here. He takes a look. It's rolling to help him, and Merzlikins just got there in time. Watch the puck. Look at it. It's perfectly rolling for him, and then a one hop, and he, oh man, almost got it underneath the blocker there.
If Berube was still playing, it might be a little like Reg Dunlop.
You know what? I think is my old bench box, Glenn Sather, starting as a coach in that same role, taking over as player coach. And
Werenski, 3 shots on goal in the first, had that one blocked. It comes out, and maybe Nyes with a break. Here's Matthew Nyes, stopped by Merzlikins.
He's been having 26 goals, 51 points. He just separates himself from the traffic, got his head up the whole way, and clearly had in mind pulling it across 34.4 kilometers, but the puck at the end.
We've got Lorentz battling with Pirelli in front of the net, and the gloves come off. That was a long tussle before they finally get down to the business.
I think there's 2 or 3 takedowns in front of the net. I thought an arm would go up. It didn't originally. And at the end, the 2 combatants, Corrali's talking to the official here. Why wasn't there a call?
Fired that wide of the net, and Matthew Nyes starts it out the other way. Marner with Matthews driving the lane. Matthews to the net, and Merzlikins stopped that.
Now Marner's got his head up. Why? Because look at the drive through the middle. There's another one that just kind of bobbled for a second. How about that hand-eye control?
Last league defenseman to score. That was in Utah 10 games ago. Werenski with the puck, and Off the boards, off the glove of Benoit, back in, chance Robertson! Robertson scores! Doubles down, and the Leafs have a 2-0 lead.
And in the middle of it, second period, you get a change. You get the fourth line, and how about Domi doing an excellent job of keeping this one alive? He's still up there from the end of his shift, and there's Nick Robertson again. Just settled that thing down. You just dust it off, and look at the quick release in that triangle before the 5-hole pad can get down. So far. So here's the biggest difference for Matthew Knies, too. He's playing 4 minutes and 52 seconds more than he did in his rookie season. You know, I just can't begin to tell you what an adjustment it is for a player. He talked about his preparation in the offseason.
Unable to get the shot away was Fantilli. Back the other way, McMahon. Got Morgan Rielly with him. Rielly, and he tried to slide it back. And a defensive play made by Provorov. McMahon centers. Tavares couldn't reach it. Back to Rielly. In behind the net, McMahon's on it again. Bobby McMahon to the line. Carlo across. Rielly sends that to the net. Big rebound. Nylander scores! William Nylander has 43. And the Leafs have a 3-goal lead.
For both chances here. Here's McMahon. He knows he's got Rielly. Slides it across. Instead of the shot, looked like he had a lot of the net. He tried to slide it across. But the second chance coming here. Rielly with his head up. Rebound there. And that's a shot that Nylander can play. Watch the patience of Nylander. You're right about how.
For Columbus. Matthews is in. Drops for Marner. Back to Matthews. And it slid just past the post.
Looked like a game was maybe close. Here's the give and go as Matthews back to Marner. There's an excellent save, and it just hits the back.
Matthews takes a look, and he's going to idle it. Head off as Morgan Rielly takes over, and out comes Nylander to the attack. There's Nylander cutting in. Nylander scores! He's got 2! And now, 6 away.
Now you got to change, and that's just a lazy, sloppy change that William Nylander makes you pay. A little cutback, and just perfect as a right.
No call on the play, and Max Domi's headed back. Columbus with a change that allows Domi in front of the net, and tied up there was Myers. We've got Olivier and Benoit. Olivier with Ryan Reeves playing for the Marlies, the heavyweight champion at the moment.
Well, we've seen like what, 4 or 5 shifts in a row where you've had guys cross-checking each other. You saw the play that it started with Knies in front, then you had Corrali and Matthews, and this one's done. Both looked at each other and said it had enough. And right after, and then on the corner battle here, you think Olivier is just having some words with Benoit. Not a whole lot happening except a little hug, and then the gloves go down. You can see the play at the other end. There's a scoring chance for the Leafs.
There's Marner. Matthews back to work with Knies. Matthews in front. Oh, there's Leakins. Kick that away with Knies on the doorstep. 7 Leafs with points in the game. Morgan Rielly, a pair of assists. Here's Van Riemsdyk off the post.
Goaltender. Here's that rebound. Van Riemsdyk, watch, off the stick, through the legs, just a little tip of the pad.
Marner back to Benoit. In the middle, it's Matthews. Knies is going to pile up behind the net, and Provorov goes down after bumping. Knies in front, and he scooped out of midair. Stockweber's Lincoln scores! Austin Matthews!
Can't believe it. How about this hand-eye? You know, players do this all through warm-up. There's Knies, gets 2 whacks at it. Marner stays with it. And then Matthews, stay away from traffic. Even took a step backwards, and that's a goal scorer's goal. Just rip that.
And the clock starts to tick down. The fans saluting this performance by the Leafs. Anthony Stolarz won his 60th career game on Wednesday. He's got his 10th career